Let's take a look at doing some layout with a stack panel layout manager. This is a tool I'm using here called XAMLpad, which shipped with the Windows Presentation Foundation, but it's useful for quickly playing with Silverlight XAML as well without having to compile all the time and get this stuff interpreted and straight onto the screen. So let's take a look at a stack panel. Let's throw a stack panel onto the screen here. So we'll have a stack panel, we'll say background equals pink, something like that, and let's say stack panel, and we get a pink stack panel filling the space that's currently available to it on the screen. Now, of course, we can go and set absolute width and height on that thing to make it not do that, and it'll do what you expect it to do. And width, height, margin, horizontal layout, and so on, as we talked about in another video, all apply to a layout manager like Stack Panel. But let's let it fill the space for now. And essentially what the Stack Panel does is very simple. It just stacks things up. So we can put a button in here. Let's put some content on there that says 1. And we can put another button in there that's going to say 2, and another one, and that's going to say 3, and so on and so forth. And you can see that these things are just simply being stacked up. In the particular case here, they are being sized. Their height is being auto-sized. So, if we were to set the font size here to be 32 or something, then we'll see that that is again adapting its size. And then the follow-on friends here are really just being sized again according to their height. However, the horizontal alignment is being stretched, so these are being stretched in order to fit the space here. Of course, we can change that. For instance, this button here, we could say horizontal alignment equals left, for instance, and let that go over there, and it'll size itself appropriately. We could say horizontal alignment equals right on this guy, make him pop over there, and of course we could say horizontal alignment equals center on this guy to make him move into the middle. So now they're being sized according to their natural width and height and being aligned the way you would want. And again, of course, you could specify an absolute width if you wanted to and change the width of that thing and just specify it that way. So the stack panel in this case, it simply stacks things up, giving themselves the size that they have asked for. And in this case, it will naturally stretch things horizontally unless you tell it not to, and it will just stack them up vertically. Now we can go and change the orientation of the stack panel to use it in a different direction. So we can say orientation equals, let's go here and say horizontal, and things will move. Now at this point, horizontal alignment becomes a little bit academic, so we can get rid of horizontal alignment here. And in fact, let's clear these buttons down so they start looking a little bit vanilla again. And we can see that this time the font size is having an effect in the horizontal direction. So we're sizing these 3 buttons according to their horizontal sizing, but then we're stretching them vertically. So once again we could say to this one, vertical alignment equals, let's go for top, move up there. We can say vertical alignment, oops, we could if we could spell it, vertical alignment equals center on this guy, move him into the middle, and we can say vertical alignment equals, let's say, bottom on this guy, and move him down there. And so they just do the reverse of what you saw in the horizontal aspect, really. Very simple to use. So we have horizontal and vertical alignment. We have stacking vertically or horizontally. And of course, it's worth remembering that even if you take these alignments off and everything looks a little bit crammed on the screen, so let's just take these things off, you still have the capability to apply margins and so on. So we can still go and take a margin here and just make sure that that button spaces itself out quite nicely. As you probably want with a piece of UI, you don't want everything banging up to everything else just quite like this. But that's just a general thing about margins and padding and widths and heights and so on that you see in Silverlight. So this is essentially what the stack panel does for you. It stacks things up vertically or horizontally. It gives them as much space as they kind of ask for, and you can control how much space they ask for by setting things like vertical and horizontal alignment in order to make these things do what you want.